Robbie Falk of 24/7 Sports and co-host of the Thunder and Lightning podcast with Brian Haydad, tweeted and has a story at the 24/7 Sports Mississippi State site. Mississippi State freshman Dakota Jordan is entering the transfer portal. So we mentioned that earlier in the show today, that that's something that has been talked about and discussed and rumored and alluded to over the last day or so. Good grief, back during the season when things were not going well for Mississippi State and there were thoughts, the possibility of a coaching change. Brian Haydad even raised that as a possibility back then, back in April. It's like, yeah, what about these young guys if this thing doesn't go well? Do they go to another place? And it appears as if Dakota Jordan is going to do that. Coming off a freshman All-SEC season, tremendous year, incredible power, raw athletic ability, and moving on. So, thoughts, Haydad?
Well, I'm seeing a lot of people on the text line, they're bringing up NIL. This is not NIL related, guys. I can't stress that enough. Mississippi State, if this was just an NIL thing, Mississippi State would be in position to match or beat any offer unless somebody was going to throw out, something stupid. If somebody wants to offer Dakota Jordan $5 million, yeah, the state would probably tell them just go ahead and take that deal. But if this is not NIL related, this is related to some goings on with some former teammates. If you want to put some things together, his roommate, his best friend is Slade Alford. Slade Alford is headed to Georgia. And Slade Alford and Dakota Jordan are playing Summer League baseball together. They're on the same team as we speak. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes there. And that's what's gotten Dakota Jordan into the portal.
Okay. Which leads you to
believe.
But
it is not NIL related. I can't stress that enough.
Yeah, because, it leads you to believe that Dakota Jordan is headed to Georgia.
Mm-hmm. That is where he would be favored to go.
That is not a place, and that is not a fan base that has been typically, or at least in the past, invested in baseball. The stadium is very okay, but it is well below the top-end SEC standards. Like, not even close.
This transfer will not even register with their fans. They will be like, who? Is he good?
Yeah,
what sport? He play?
Beyond the small number of diehard Georgia baseball fans, and there are a few of those. There are a few of those at every school.
Right.
No, it's not a big deal there. The only thing that I could wonder, at least I hear what you're saying on the NIL front, is if maybe Wes Johnson has gotten some commitment from the university that, we've got a big collective and we will allocate to baseball in a way that we have not previously, because there's plenty of money here. Whether people think they're donating to that or not, so I guess there's something in it for him, but that's not the reason that he's entering the transfer portal.
Correct. Correct.
Pretty significant impact for Georgia, you would think. This is a really good addition to that roster.
He and Condon, that's a great 1-2 punch there, right in the middle of that lineup.
That is some serious pop in the middle of that order.
Yeah. If assuming he makes it to Georgia. Yes.
What does it mean for Mississippi State?
Well, it's just another blow, right? You thought, okay, they can build around that nucleus of Hines and Jordan and Highfill and Mershon, and now you're taking one of the big guns out of there, and you've still got a lot of work to do in the portal, and now you got to add this to your list. You got to find some more power. I think it's easier to find power hitters in the portal than it is to find power pitchers, so that's good news. They should be able to find a bat, but they still got a long way to go. I'll go on the record right now. I don't know that it's going. I don't think this third year for Lemonis, even with a new pitching coach, is going to mean that Mississippi State is going to be back in postseason baseball next year, because they've got to completely reshape this roster, and I just don't know that they can do it.
Yeah.
And Jordan leaving does not help them.
Jeff in Grenada says, just a young kid following his best friend. Not a lot of thought. Hopefully he can continue to make himself shine. Look, whether Georgia and its fans are committed to baseball or not, it's still an SEC baseball program that won a national championship in 1990 and has been to the College World Series multiple times in the last 20 years. And it's got a new coach that has been one of the best pitching coaches in the game at any level for the better part of the last decade. And, there's some energy there. It's not like if he goes to Georgia, he's going to a bad place. In fact, that's a job that should have been so much better than it has been for a really long time. Is Georgia finally committing? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Tough loss for Mississippi.